The first question is you've been traveling all around the world, meeting many number of people, and affecting as well as helping their lives for the past 35 years, as far as I hear. In all these years, you may have affected millions of lives. I feel it's also the government's responsibility to take good care of people and to help them. So, my question is why don't you establish a political party and run for the people's representative?
Well, we have a very distorted perception of what is politics, unfortunately, largely in the world, particularly in India. If you do something wrong, we say, oh, he's doing politics. See what he's trying to push me into. But the real perspective of this is, politics means it's about policy making. That means you set the direction for the nation as to where the nation should go, what it should achieve, where people should get, essentially directing the ship. Where if you look at a nation as a journey, we are going somewhere, somebody has to captain it. Well, I think it is one of the most significant things that needs to be done in the world in a most responsible and sensitive way. Well, unfortunately, a whole lot of them have not earned this. That today, it's become like this, if you utter the word politics, it looks like we are talking about something dirty. It's almost like that. So having said that, you okay? If I tell you a joke, it's all right. Are you serious, man? That's why I'm asking you. This happened. Three men who are in their older age who are retired. One was a surgeon, another was a general, another was a politician. They met in the old age home. And they had a golf game, it went all bad. So they thought at least they'll have some good gossip. Bad game, what to do? At least good gossip. So they started this and then they said, the surgeon said, of all the professions, the most important profession is that of a surgeon, because it is only by cutting the Adam's one rib and making woman out of it that this whole world happened. So what can be more significant than that? Surgeon's profession is the most important profession in the world. So the general said, oh, come on, it is clearly said that there was chaos and then order had to be brought in before this rib surgery happened. And who else but a general can bring order? Obviously, we were before you and only because we brought order, you could do this surgery. The politician said, you guys are getting it all wrong, but who created the chaos? Well, that's not how it should be. That's not what politics means. Politics means sorting out problems, not creating problems. So why should I not start a new party? You didn't tell me to join the existing ones at least, that's a good thing. So it looks like I have at least 1,000 votes here. But that's not going to get you anywhere. But that's not the point. The point is this, there are two dimensions to human life. One is arranging the external situations, which is in a way policymakers' business. And another is settling the interiority of the human being. In this culture, we have always held settling the interiority of the human being far more important than arranging the outside. Because however well you arrange it, still if you are not organized well within yourself, still your life will be a mess. See, all of you, I'm telling you, I'm sure in IIT Kharagpur, there are 12,000 students, there must be at least 24,000 complaints. Hello? But the fact of the matter is, compared to any other generation ever in the history of humanity, you and me are living in the highest level of comfort and convenience and empowerment. Isn't it so? Isn't it so? But still, no generation has ever whined the way we are whining all the time. We are not enjoying this organization. Never before in human history, human survival was this well organized as it is today. So this is the time for a human being to organize the inner aspect of you so that the external organization doesn't go waste. Why I'm saying this is, already there's enough proof in the world that people can mess up the most best organization on the outside, can be messed up by internal things. 38% of the European population is on psychiatric medication. Why I'm picking on the European population is, this is a society which has enjoyed longest period of economic and material well-being on this planet right now. Almost nearly 200 years they've enjoyed material well-being like no other society in the world. How they got that material is another matter, I don't want to go into that. Okay? But they have enjoyed material well-being for so long, and 38%. If you just withdraw a few medicines from the marketplace, the nation or all those nations can go crazy tomorrow morning. Yes? If pharmaceuticals go on strike, really, everybody goes crazy, how's this? You call this well-being? So one must understand, just organizing the external situations is not going to bring human well-being. You can organize comfort, you can organize convenience, you can organize survival, you cannot organize well-being. Well-being is something that you have to earn within yourself. I've taken it upon myself to bring human well-being, because this is inner organization of yourself. This is very important, otherwise all the bounty that the science and technology has offered us will go waste. And this bounty has not come free. Let's say we're sitting in the comfort of this hall right now. If this hall has to come up, every worm, insect, bird, animal, plant, tree has suffered, isn't it? Yes or no? For every convenience that you and me are enjoying, haven't every other creature on this planet suffered immensely? Hello? And when we cause so much suffering, at least we must be well. We sit in this comfort and we're miserable, we had no business to cause suffering to them, isn't it? In pursuit of our well-being, we did all this in the world. Are we really well? We are the most comfortable generation ever, but can we claim we are the most joyful generation ever? Unfortunately, no, isn't it? That's what I'm trying to change. So, politics, there are so many people eager to do, we need to change them. That being in politics is not of personal ambition, but towards nation's well-being. This context we have to change in them. It is not a profession, it is a certain service that you have to render. So if this context changes in their minds and hearts, which we are trying to change, that will be bigger than me starting another party. I think there are too many parties. Even the EVM machine is complaining because there are not enough slots for all the parties. They're not able to find enough symbols, all kinds of things. Bicycle is okay, it's a common man's vehicle, but anything and anything, there are gas cylinder, there's a broom and there is a whatever, all kinds of things, because they're not even able to find symbols. What symbol would you give me? So, he says turban. Then only the Sardarjis will vote for me. So there is no need for one more political party. I would say there should be reduction of political parties in the country to two or three or four, not 200 parties. It's just confusing the people, they don't even know whom to vote for. Because your chacha has started a party, how can you not vote for it? You you don't know what is his ideology, you don't know what is his policy, what is his vision for the nation, nothing, but he's your chacha. So if I start, all the millions of people who are in some way drawn to me, they will not know what is my vision, why I want to start this political party. If Sadhguru, we will vote him. I don't want to bring that nonsense.
Sadhguru, I see myself relentlessly pursuing goals with a kind of a go-getter's attitude at times. And in other times, I am deliberately very patient and I wait for things to unfold in their own unique and beautiful way. I've had the pleasure of…
What is it, you're talking about your love affair or your profession?
And I've had the pleasure of having wonderful experiences in both worlds. So, what I would like to ask you is, according to you, what is a better approach to things?
But where did you find this out-of-the-world girl? Huh? Both worlds he's saying. We would like to see the girl if she's here. Well, see, in terms of doing anything in the world, well, we should know what we're doing, the capability, intelligence, all these things are there. But one important aspect that, especially when you're young, you try to miss is the timing. If you don't time your actions right, even the best actions will go waste. Timing it. Is there… so people who don't know how to time it, they will look at the astrological chart and say this is good time, bad time, auspicious time, inauspicious time. Because it's 9 o'clock, your girl was coming, it's Rahu Kala, you don't look at her. Hey, it's bombed, your love affair is over. So those who don't know how to time their life, they will start looking for standard charts, what is good time, what is bad time. There's no such thing. Timing is most important. This is something I'm constantly striving with people around me to understand the significance of timing. They all think the significance of the action they understand, but they don't understand most of the time the significance of timing. If the timing is right, even a small action will produce a huge impact. The timing is wrong, even if you push so hard, only little will happen. So timing is very, very important. How do you arrive at this? This is a complex affair because you, first of all, let's only handle one aspect because if you go into the other, you will fall into the astrological charts. One aspect is, see, you as a human being, let's say you take 24-hour time, or if you want to take a longer time, let's say a week or a month if we take, in 1 month, 24 hours every day, 1 month long, 30 days. Are you in the same state of physical and mental competence? No. It's all the time going here and there. So when you want to hit an important shot, you must be at your best. So this timing you take care of it. Outside timing is there, that'll take a lot of experience and wisdom to time with the world. But at least with you, you time it. When you are at your best, you do important things. When you're not so good, you don't do it. Just 3 days ago, somebody in Bangalore was telling someone else here about his experience of driving with me. Many years ago, almost 8 years ago, he still remembers because it so terrified him. Because my right leg is heavy. So he said, the way he was driving that day, I said, Sadhguru, don't drive like this. He said, it seems I said, I don't remember, maybe I said. Because I look at it like that, I should have said. On a particular day when I'm on, I know today I can do anything and I will do it right, anything. Another day, I'm little not there. Then I know today I step back and I go a little more cautiously like everybody else, otherwise I go boom. So I'm driving that day like that and he's terrified. I said, don't worry, today nothing will happen because I'm in this condition. This day, nothing will go wrong for me, I'm on today. So this timing at least, there is also timing with the rest of the world, the situations. That will take much more experience and observation to hit the right thing at the right time. But at least the timing with yourself, that you are at your best. When you want to do important things, you are at your best. This must happen. Once you understand this, then you will realize it's extremely important to keep yourself at your best every moment of your life. Because every little thing that you do, if you learn to do it with as much significance as the so-called big things that you do, then you will see the cumulative impact of that over a period of time is so big, you didn't do anything big, you did only little things. But these little things add up to something phenomenal simply because you took care to do those little things with absolute intention and attention, intensity of expression of what you're doing. So one fundamental thing, before you realize and read all these things properly within yourself and around yourself, one simple thing is just this: you don't decide what is important, what is not important. Just pay as much attention to everything the same way and apply yourself with the same level of intensity. If God comes, same intensity; if an ant comes, same intensity of attention and involvement. You just do this, everything will sort itself out. Right now, the biggest problem with human beings is they think this is important, that's not important, this person is great, this person is no good, this is okay, this is not okay, this is God, this is devil. This is their problem. In this, they're becoming half a life. Because half the time, they're not there, because they think it's not important. Tell me, you're breathing right now, is it important? Yes. So you must do it with total involvement and intensity. Then we'll say, we'll call you a yogi. You understand? You at least the beard is coming. You better learn to breathe properly. No, the beard doesn't just grow on a yogi, it grows on every man. Why they have removed it, you must ask. Nobody knows. So, if it is not important, you must stop it, isn't it? Just do this one thing. There is no such thing as important and not important. Whether you look at your friend or you look at somebody you don't like, you're doing something important or important in socially or not so important socially, as far as you are concerned as a life, every moment of your life is equally important. Everything that you do is important. What is not important, just don't do it. Why are you investing in your life? Why are you investing your life in something that you think is not important? You're doing something silly, let's say. I think it's not important, it doesn't matter. But you think it's important. Only if you think it's important, you must invest your life in it, isn't it? Otherwise, why? If you do this, you will arrive at the timing, it'll take a little time, but you'll arrive at the timing, and that timing is extremely important, extremely. You watched games, let's say maybe cricket or golf if you watched, always everybody is talking about the timing of hitting the ball. Strength of hitting the ball is not the thing, it's the timing. Somebody hits the same ball with great amount of, wasting energy. Another person just flicks it, it goes to the same place. It's a timing. That is true even in your life. Timing is the most important thing because the time that you have in this life and the energy that you have in your life is limited. It's a limited resource. Nobody has endless energy, isn't it? Nobody has endless time. So, you have to time it right. First thing is to start observing yourself. When you're at your best, you must do. And now, if you observe yourself sufficiently, you will see you have to be at your best every moment. There's no such thing as this is important, this is not important.
So Sadhguru, there are times in life when I'm just doing excellent, doing to my fullest. But then suddenly a feeling creeps in which tells me that your downfall is near. It bothers me.
Maybe you're just landing.
Yes, and with this feeling getting into the system, my performance actually starts to deteriorate. So Sadhguru, how do we fight these inner monstrous voices?
How many monsters do you have within you? I thought there's only one monster, that's you. This we must be very clear. See, if you are hearing two voices within you, an angelic voice and a monstrous voice, this doesn't mean something fantastic has happened. This means you're either schizophrenic or you're possessed. Yes. You either need a psychiatrist or an exorcist. So, this is very important. This people are doing in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality, in the name of so-called modern solutions to everything. In many ways, this is finding expression. In India, we have a huge vocabulary for these things. If you say anything to anybody, oh, this is my ahankara, this is my ego doing this is my soul, this is my this is my that. Well, if so many people are speaking from within you, if so many people are stuck in this one body, this is a ailment, isn't it? Hello? If there is more than one in this body, is this an ailment or no? Only one. This body is designed for one, isn't it? This is the most fundamental thing you must do. There's just you and you and you in this. There is no another. The moment there is another, this is a trick. Initially you play this trick. When something happens well, of course it's me. When something didn't happen, I don't know, some other voice, somebody else, my ego, my… all kinds of other creatures which don't exist you manufacture in your mind. You can call it Atman, Paramatman, God speaks within you, devil speaks within you. See, whenever people said, God spoke to me, disasters unfolded. Yes, have you seen this? The President of the United States at one time, about 15 years ago or 18 years ago, said, God told me, oh, what a disaster, 600,000 people died and a whole nation destroyed. That is the kind of things always happen when God spoke. Because I want you to understand, it's not about God speaking. When you want to say something absolutely illogical and unreasonable, you bring the God and the devil. So, if there is more than one voice, you have to kill the other voices. For this, you must understand, there is a complexity to human mind. That's what is fantastic about us. If you had the brain of an earthworm, of course you would be eco-friendly, but there would be no IIT, isn't it? I have nothing against the earthworms, they're fantastic creatures, but there would be no IIT, for sure. There would be no technology, they would be just eco-friendly, earth would be good with earthworms. But so many things, possibilities wouldn't happen. So the complexity of who we are is the greatest gift we have, isn't it so? There is a cerebral complexity, which is what makes us who we are. This is the greatest gift. But this is what every human being is suffering. I'm asking all of you, though you are in Kharagpur, when was the last time you were stabbed by a dagger? Hello? Even in Bengal it didn't happen. They're really ignoring you, okay? Maybe the biggest thing that happened to you is a mosquito bit you. That is the level of suffering that the world is inflicting upon you. Rest of the suffering is all on self-help, isn't it? So why are you suffering like this? Because… I'll ask you a simple question, tell me yes or no. Because I'm also going to bless you according to your question. Do you want your intellect to be sharp or blunt? Okay. What department are these guys? Oh. Is there political science? Is it one of the disciplines, sir? Is it one of the disciplines in the… No, then how? There's infiltration in your college. So, you naturally want your intellect to be sharp. That means intellect is a cutting instrument. It's like a knife. The sharper it is, the better it is, isn't it? So there are children who are being tortured here by me. The parents have come out of their eagerness, but I'm not singing a lullaby or anything, I'm talking like this. So suppose there is a very sharp knife here, would you give it to the child? Why? Not because a knife is dangerous, because the child may not be steady enough to handle such a sharp instrument, it could hurt itself or it could hurt somebody. So right now, after millions of years of evolution, we gave you an intellect. We means I'm on the side of nature, okay? We gave you a sharp mind. Now you're cutting yourself all over the place and you're complaining about it. No, when something is sharp given to you, you must learn how to hold it, isn't it? You have to learn how to handle it. If you hold it at the wrong end or if you move irresponsibly, you will cut yourself. Right now, these are all individual expressions of someday I feel like this, someday I feel like this. Human beings essentially are going through a whole lot of suffering. Somebody is in the war zone, somebody is in a famine zone. I will leave those human beings because that's a different scene. But the rest of the people are all suffering only one thing, their own intelligence. If you took half their brain away, they would sit peacefully. Yes or no? No demons, no gods, no voices, peaceful. Yes or no? So we are complaining about the greatest gift that we have. The only reason why compared to all other creatures we are dominating here is because of our cerebral capability, isn't it? You're not as strong as an elephant, you're not as ferocious as a tiger, but the poor tiger needs to be protected today. It's no more a tiger burning bright in the forests of the night. Poor tiger, we need to save it because of the sharpness of our mind, we are able to just about do anything. And this has become the problem. So this has become the problem because we gave you a very complex machine and you not bother to read the user's manual and you're trying to handle it blindly. Now all kinds of things will speak. I want you to understand this. In the cases of schizophrenia, the largest number of personalities that have happened or manifested in one human being that they have studied, there could be more somewhere else, but what has been studied and recorded is 32 full-scale personalities in one human being has been studied and recorded, 32. That is like 32 people are living in this body and talking different languages and incredible capabilities. This guy speaks Bengali, that guy speaks Kannada, that guy speaks Malayalam, or like this. They just pick this up because everything that you heard somewhere is recorded. If you want each one of them, you can make it your different personality. Right now, maybe there is no conscious memory of… Here in this… I'm sure in this campus, so many people are speaking so many different languages. If there are 3 Tamil people and they're speaking Tamil, you didn't understand a word of it, but it is recorded. If you want, you can make that into a person of your own and tomorrow start speaking Tamil. And that person knows Tamil. You as a person do not know. That's how complex mind is. It has a million chambers. You will never get to explore all of it. But the important thing is, you must establish within yourself, there's only one you. Only then you can use this, otherwise it'll use you because it's too complex. Everybody is afraid today, wherever I go they're calling me for all kinds of artificial intelligence conferences in the world, and their fear is, it'll take away our jobs, it'll dominate our life, it'll take over the world. I said, yes, if you remain as stupid as you are, it will. For sure it will. Because right now, your own intellect has taken over your life and destroying you, make you suffer for nothing. If I leave you alone in a room, all by yourself, if you are capable of being miserable, this means you're in bad company, isn't it? Hello? If I'm with you and you suffered, maybe it's me. But you're sitting alone and suffering, this means you're in bad company, isn't it? You have to fix that one thing, that this one is never bad company. This is the best company you have. For this, there is a simple treatment. This simple treatment is just this. You start seeing this much, whatever happens to me in my life, good things happen, ugly things happen, nonsense happens, great things happens, doesn't matter, whatever happens and whatever did not happen in my life, it's all my responsibility. Now, there'll be only one person. If you see this is my responsibility, there'll be only one person. Otherwise, God will speak here, devil will speak there, Atma will speak from here, Paramatman will speak from somewhere else and they'll drive you crazy. See, most of the society is in different levels of madness. If you're alone and if you can suffer, you're in some state of madness, isn't it so? Only thing is, you're in a socially accepted level of madness. You have to graduate to go into a asylum. But without anybody doing anything, if I am able to cause enormous misery to myself, is this a case or no? Hello? This is a case, isn't it? But because everybody is in the same state, we think it's normal. No, it's not normal. Somebody coming and doing something good to you or bad to you is a possibility. You should never cause damage to this, isn't it? Hello? If you are causing trouble to this, obviously you haven't figured out the fundamentals of your own existence. This is why it is very, very important that I'm not starting a political party.
So, Sadhguru, I learned from my mentor architect that architectural interventions should not be just about minimizing ecological disturbance, but it must be instead about enhancing the very life that resides in a structure. So as an architecture student, I would like to know if design has the ability to heal and improve the quality of the life of the people occupying a structure.
See, if you look at the physical world, whether it's your body or a blade of grass or the planet or whatever, the physical universe is all about geometry, isn't it? Just to give you an example. This is about 3 years ago maybe, and I'm walking through the yoga center, which is… people generally think it's very well, its architecture is unique and different. So I'm walking through for various details, looking at it. Then I see, in a place where lots of people come every day, there is a tree branch which was in a certain… this thing. So I looked at this and I said, please cut this tree branch. I did not explain to them, I just said, cut it, and I went on. Then the next day I was leaving the country and I was not there for about a month and a half. Then after 2 or 3 weeks, they wrote a very apologetic note to me, saying that, Sadhguru, you asked us to cut the tree branch, but we thought, why would Sadhguru want to cut a tree branch? When always I'm talking about, you are not going to cut anything which is not absolutely necessary. We didn't cut it, but the rain and winds came and it fell down. Fortunately, there were no people. If there were people, things would have happened, you know. We're very sorry, we don't know why you asked us to cut. See, how long something stands or how well something functions physically is only a question of geometry. I'm saying even your body. How you sit will determine how long the different parts of your body will last. How you stand, how you walk. Today, for runners and others, do you know this posture correction has become a huge science? They got machines. They got all scanning machines which will tell you if you stand like this, how your vertebrae are, how your ribs are, how you… if you do like this, where is your stomach, where is your liver, all this, because if you run the wrong way, you will damage yourself. This is come into sports in a big way now, but yoga is always about this. The whole system of yoga is about aligning your geometry with a larger cosmic geometry so that you can function with least amount of friction. If we say, there are mechanical engineers, aren't there? If you say a machine is well engineered, essentially you are saying its geometry is well aligned. A misaligned geometry means lots of friction, isn't it? So this goes for your body, this goes for every shape and form, everything that is functional in the universe has to be geometrically in sync, otherwise it'll cause disturbance. So does the geometry of a building make a difference? Absolutely. Especially if you're a little sensitive, it will make a huge difference. For everybody it makes a difference, most people don't understand, don't notice anything about themselves. They only understand the consequence. They only understand, I'm not feeling good. They don't know why they're not feeling good. People don't notice that. But the very shapes and forms that you have around you has a certain impact because you are also a physical form. And how this physical form is, how this is, how that is, all this has a certain geometric impact. If you… I'm sure many of you have felt this, especially the girls probably would feel it more. If they walk into a building, oh, I don't like this, just like that. You know, it's always when men and women, husband and wife go to buy a house, the husband sees all the brochures and says, this is good, and it's priced well, it's fantastic. She walks in and says, I don't like it. Why? I don't like it, that's all. Because she doesn't feel good. That's all she knows. She doesn't know why she doesn't feel good. She doesn't know what is the shape which is causing this, but she knows this doesn't feel good. So, the shapes and forms have a significant impact on you if we paid enough attention. Said, you must look at this. You're from South. Well, you come from Kerala. You must look at the South Indian temples, how geometrically perfect they are. You take your laser measuring instruments today and check it, it's perfect, you know. How important that the right angles are right, in this building it's not right. And how the shapes and forms make a difference is something that they examine to the minutest possible thing. when they built the ancient temples, particularly in the south. The North Indian temples are all brick temples, they're done in a certain way, it looks like they've all been put up in a hurry, you know. Now, why I'm saying this is, I think the northern belt took a lot of invasions and ancient temples were destroyed, they all put it up in a hurry. When they could, they just put it up. But in south, they took time and engineered it in a certain way, you can feel it, you don't have to believe anything, you just go and sit there, you feel a certain… that space has a certain impact on you. Our home should be built like this, our offices should be built like this. Because it's very important that… see, we know this for plants and animals and everything, the atmosphere in which they live is very important, the habitat, otherwise they won't thrive, isn't it? The same goes for the human being. If you just want to somehow live and die, you can live anywhere. But if you want to thrive, really, then it's important how… what kind of spaces you live in. There is a whole science to this, which is generally called as agama. People think it's temple building science. It's not about temple building. It was to be built… every human habitation was to be built that way. Whole lot of people couldn't afford it for their house, they did it only for the temple because it takes more involvement and care for this. So this is the reason, this is one of the reasons why you Kerala people, no matter what, first thing in the morning, you shower, you go… see, you must understand, only in the south this instruction is still there, in the north it's gone. In south, even today this instruction is there, if you go to the temple, you don't have to pray, you don't have to appeal to some god, you just have to sit there for some time. Have they told you? You must sit there. But what people are doing today is, they're just touching their bottom to the floor and going away. That's not the idea. The space has been built with such care, you must sit there and experience this and allow your system to make use of it, because this is a geometry too. The entire system of yoga is just this. The Hatha Yoga is all about correcting your geometry constantly, that if you walk through the world, you will walk through it effortlessly. If your geometry is not right, then you will see every point you will get tangled up. So, architecture in India is right now, except a few, the new architecture that's been done, unfortunately we have a serious mental enslavement. Whatever is done in the Western countries, we're doing it not considering our weather, the temperatures and everything simply. Even our clothing is like that, largely. If you go out of IIT, probably most of you will be wearing a suit, a jacket and a noose around your neck in 40 degrees temperature. How to wear a jacket? I was meeting some important CEOs and I told them, see, in your board meetings, it's compulsory in a lot of companies, they must be jacketed and tied up. I said, a CEO means people expect he will do the most sensible things. Now we must understand, a large company means people have handed over their own money, their savings, their hard-earned savings to somebody and expect this guy to do the most sensible thing. But this guy wears thick jacket and a tie in 40 degrees temperature. I don't expect this guy to do sensible things. So, architecture is not just about the buildings, the very ways we sit and stand, the furniture, even our clothing is architecture in a way, all right? We may call it by different names, we may call it design, fashion, but it's essentially about shapes and forms. It's very, very important. It's time we bring it, because last 50 years or so, since 1950, since this IIT, we've been in a survival mode, desperately trying to somehow make our people survive in this country. Now we have come to a reasonable levels of well-being, though it's not touch every human being, at least large segments have come to reasonable things. This is the time that we need to look at more sophisticated way of existence. And it's not always expensive, it is not. We can create something very wonderful. You must come and see, we've created buildings See, right now I'm telling you the simplest thing. Right now this is a flat roof, I don't know what is this roof outside? A-frame, is it? It's A-frame. So right now, between the roof and the gravity, there is a fight. Going on or no? You may not see the fight, but it's happening. There is tension here. And one day, someday, who do you think will win? The structure or the gravity? Gravity will win. So we created structures which are standing up not because of the strength of the material, but simply because of the perfection of geometry. So it's the gravity which is holding it up, not gravity pulling it down. You must come and see these buildings, they're unique and fantastic. The one thing I'm very proud of that we created, the building is designed to last for at least a minimum of 3,000 to 5,000 years. Because there is no material, they're deteriorating. There's no steel, there is no cement, there's no concrete. It's just burnt brick. See, even if you go to Mohenjo-daro or Harappa or whatever the most ancient civilization, what is it that you find? Burnt clay is the only thing that survived. It's burnt brick and just lime, which is holding the thing up. It's not the strength of the material, it's the perfection of geometry. Unless it's seismologically sensitive area, so we put it on sand beds. So it takes small shocks. Suppose a very major earthquake which opened up the land happened, only then it'll come down, otherwise it'll not come down.